playing in 4 pools and split between 2 centres, Terrassa in Spain and here in Amsterdam at the Wagner Stadium, which hosts a Women's World Cup for the 2nd time. The action got underway last night in Terrassa with the match between Spain and Canada, with the joint host winning that one by 4-1. And now we start the ball rolling here in Amsterdam with New Zealand taking on China in Pool B, where they are joined by India and England. New Zealand, who have suffered more than most with travel restrictions in the past couple of years, qualified as nominated representatives from Oceania, while China came through in 4th place in the Asia Cup in Oman. 2 teams then who, like the rest of us I guess, are just thrilled that life is slowly returning to normal. New Zealand are world ranked 9th and China 13th, but frankly such constructs are little benefit to us here today. New Zealand have a number of relatively inexperienced players, and China too are not perhaps at full strength. The top team in each pool will qualify directly for the quarterfinals, but teams finishing 2nd or 3rds enter into a type of repechage, which can even involve travelling between the 2 hosting centres. It's a new and challenging format, that's for sure, but one of its strengths is that it does mean that every game counts for something, and we should end up with the best 8 filling the quarter-final slots. The next few days and matches will of course clarify things. Both New Zealand and China will be eager to get points on the board today. The crowd building slowly here. We were lucky enough to have a word with both coaches before the start of the game. Let's hear what they had to say. Well, Darren, welcome to the World Cup finally.
Yeah, fantastic setting, good to be here, and a great match to start up with against China.
Well, few countries have impacted more than yours in the pandemic. Is there a sense of relief to be out here playing again?
Oh, I mean, I think it's fantastic. You know, we've been pretty isolated down in New Zealand and not as much international hockey as we would have liked, and here we are. First of all, we had a bit of build-up in Spain, and that was lovely, and now up in the Netherlands, and finally match day has arrived. So wonderful to be here at the World Cup, and looking forward to a great event.
Well, Alison, the day is dawned, but it's only been a short build-up period for the team since your appointment. Are you already seeing progress with the group?
I think we've seen some progress. I think we've seen some good things, and I think we've seen some inconsistency. So, you know, I hope today we'll put a good game out there and win a lot of contests. I think that's one of the things. Be on the front foot, and hopefully we'll come away with a win today.
The girls have been on the road for a long time now. Are they still able to motivate themselves to perform?
I think so. I think this team really wants to improve and wants to show that they can play good hockey. They have been away for a while, but you know they've been leading up to the World Cup, and we've got a long road ahead of us. But this is the major tournament for them now this year.
Well, as you can see down there on the pitch, the 2 match umpires coming out into the bright sunshine here in Amsterdam ahead of this one. Laureen Delforge from Belgium and Wendy Venter all the way from South Africa. And here come the 2 teams, New Zealand of course in the black strip, China alongside them in the red. The flares and the smoke guns going off down there. And the 2 teams lining up with the main grandstand behind them. And looking out towards the uncovered stand on our camera side of things. I'm sure it's fair to say that both teams will be really looking forward to getting their World Cup campaigns underway here.
For those of you who can, please stand for the national anthem.
We'll pause in our commentary for the playing of the national anthems. Zealand, and yes, there are some Kiwi supporters here in the stands who've made the long journey across. And now the anthem of China. Chinese girls, they're in good voice, and a special day today for one of their number, the great Meiyu Liang, playing her 200th cap for China today. And there's the team of New Zealand, captained by Olivia Miri, their striker up front there, one of the stalwarts of this team. A lot will be depending on her. They have a team of captains. Megan Hull also shares those duties as well. But a lot of expectation, of course, from this first game. This could be one of the key games in this group. It's a tight group, but then again, this is a World Cup. So the two teams greeting each other before the start of this one. The game will be played out under bright blue skies here in Amsterdam. Quite a warm start to the day. Darren Smith taking a position high up in the grandstand there. There he is. Seemed to be in good heart when we spoke to him before the start of the game. And there's the Black Sticks huddle, putting their final touches to their preparations before this one. The bench, and it'll be an important bench during the course of this World Cup, with so many physical demands made on the teams. Interchange a regular part of hockey, as it has been for a number of years now. And now China at number 11 there, Yu Lang, the girl celebrating 200 caps today. That's quite an achievement. Liu Ping, the goalkeeper there, number 29, one of the best around. And of course nowadays coached by Alison Annan, who has amongst her assistants Rick Charlesworth and also Takataka Ma. So some big names there supporting Alison in this new journey, this new quest for her. What a project to take on, eh? Chinese girls looking focused. So many miles under their belts. They've been forced to play their Pro League games away from home recently, of course. And they've done so with great spirit and played entertaining hockey wherever they've gone. Well, I'm delighted to say that sitting alongside me in the commentary box is somebody who knows something about World Cups, having played in 4 of them herself. Marsha Cox. Marsha, welcome. What sort of game are we going to see today?
Thanks, Nick. I think I'm really intrigued to see how both these teams start. There's always a lot of nervous energy for the opening game of a World Cup. And yeah, we haven't seen a lot of New Zealand, but at the same time, that could be their secret weapon.
They're never an easy team to beat, are they?
Never.
So away we go. New Zealand, of course, in the all-black strip. And a mistake immediately there, but China have got cover back, fortunately for them. Slightly nervous trap of a high ball. Sideline ball for New Zealand here. Swiftly swept into play and transferred out to that left-hand side there. New Zealand working the flanks, finding space on that left-hand side, but China have got numbers back. Just rolling the ball off the defenders, off the attacker's foot there. For an agreed free hit. Chance for China to clear their lines. Marsha, with all of your campaigns over the years in the colours of South Africa, how keen were you always to start a tournament? The build-up must have added to frustrations.
Yeah, certainly. It's always something of like 2 years that you're building up to your World Cup, and you know, as those last days, the time ticks down to the start of the tournament, you kind of get impatient. You've waited long enough.
China just about keeping the ball in play and trying to play the ball to that top of the circle. New Zealand in position. That was Stephanie Dickens there from North Harbour getting the ball away. Lorraine Delforge, the Belgian umpire, over on that far side. We've talked about the difficulties that teams have had preparing for the World Cup in the time of the pandemic, equally so the umpires, of course, but Lorraine has been around the Pro League a lot of miles under her belt, one of the world's best umpires. New Zealand picking up the scraps and trying to make some headway down the right-hand side now.
Back there.
Side that's always liked to use its flanks to good effect, New Zealand.
It normally at speed on the outside. They normally have speedy midfielders and quite handy as well. And use their solid defense in the middle.
Oh, trying to have robbed the ball away from New Zealand here, breaking into the circle, just couldn't sort her feet out to get a shot away. But again, perhaps just a little bit of early tournament nerves creeping into both defences here. We saw a Chinese girl underneath a high ball early on, which she didn't bring down clearly.
Now, I was talking about that solid defense, not looking so great at that particular moment.
The curse of the commentator.
Yeah.
Another little outside edge there. China taking the sideline ball quickly. It'll just be a free hit.
Be careful, just leave the ball where it is. Just be very careful, number 7. Yes, play.
Umpire Delforge laying her stall out very early in the piece here.
Number 1, please. Yeah. You get it?
China taking it quickly again. They too using the width of the pitch here, and there's a brand new pitch laid especially for this tournament. It's only been down a couple of weeks. All the teams have been here practicing on it, getting used to its own idiosyncrasies.
Number 1. But anyway, they just... Okay, yeah. If it happens again, they know what they should expect.
Diving interception was attempted there, but just rolling away from the stick. New Zealand back in possession and firing it out on that left-hand side, looking to keep possession going.
Seems on both sides, they're just struggling to make that connection of the final pass. China really effective with their high press.
And here they go again. This is Jia Li.
Play! She's got a ball, play on!
Played into the circle, kicked clear by the Kiwi keeper this time. It was a good kick as well, needed to be. Grace O'Hanlon in their net today.
Play!
China recycling it again, trying to work the space out on that right-hand side. So neither side really able to establish any early authority here as they feel their way into this World Cup.
Definitely saw the first few minutes of a shaky start.
China taking the free hit, which was offered to them very quickly then. Putting Putting the ball into the back of the net, but no deflection off an attacker stick in the circle there.
It seems that China is settling a little faster into this game. And they seem to be controlling a little bit more.
They're showing full commitment. And any side coached by Messrs Annan and Charlesworth will need to show commitment, that's for sure. Two natural-born winners, if ever there were.
That's fine, play on, play on.
It's good working back from the New Zealand midfielders.
Across the right-hand side, Francis Davis. Davis again has a little look forward, doesn't see anything on, so rolls the ball to her left. China sitting back deep in their own half now. Davis again, a little more space this time, fires it forward, but straight onto a Chinese stick. Good challenge coming in there from Stephanie Dickens. Gets the free hit, but she takes herself up to the 23.
Dangerous, yeah, good dangerous.
New Zealand have a free hit, just 4 meters outside the circle. Now they work their way into that Chinese circle. There's a stick block there, and it'll be a free hit out for China. A chance for them to clear their lines here. Tall figure there of Olivia Merry.
It's good patient tackle from the Chinese defender.
Sorry, I saw this way.
She's quite a handful, Olivia Merry up front. She's not the most orthodox of centre forwards, but my goodness, she is effective.
Really dangerous, and I think that the Chinese defense should be very aware of her.
I don't mind if you take it. If you
okay.
Yeah, I really don't mind.
Cool.
Space again for
just
New
a bit
Zealand,
earlier than I
finding
can
some
Yeah, no, that's fine.
room on the right-hand side.
Play!
Great steal there
Play!
from Marning.
The Chinese just seem to be sitting back and being patient in this phase, waiting for New Zealand to make an unforced error, like we've just seen. A great skill work, hand speed, but then just losing control of the ball. And it's really interesting because in the first few minutes of the game they started off putting high pressure on New Zealand and making turnovers high up in the field. And then just falling short with their final passes as they would enter the circle, and now we see them dropping off and sitting back and being more patient, but then not having too much in the counter attack either.
So a cagey beginning for from both coaches, both sides here. Possession stat you just saw, just marginally favouring China. Neither side have yet carved out a clear goal-scoring chance. Just under 5 minutes left then in this first quarter. New Zealand 0, China 0.
It's very clear you're the last one to touch it. Just look at me. Just look at me. You were the last one. Very clear. Sorry.
Maureen Delforge enjoying her day as the umpire over there. Still playing a very high level of hockey herself, incidentally. It's something of a rarity, but she's a unique talent. They shall not pass was the suggestion there from New Zealand, setting up to defend that Chinese sideline ball, but Chinese has a brilliant ball in and very nearly a telling deflection on it as well. Great commitment there. It was Tien Tien throwing herself at it.
That's for you. That's for you.
Well, that was the outstanding moment of the match so far in my eyes, Marcia.
Yeah, I thought it was really brilliant goalkeeping as well. She identified that there's just one individual player on the top of the D, and to come out that high,
She read it so well,
it is a
didn't she?
risk to come up, and she identifies nobody's here, I need to defend her, and almost becomes an extra infield player. I think that was really smart.
Very rare to see a goalkeeper playing that high in the circle.
Certainly in women's hockey, I think that was really smart move.
Grace O'Hanlon, the Auckland keeper there. Over 70 caps for New Zealand, but clearly a good reader of the game there. Wakahoma losing out there, trying to back in possession, trying to work the ball into that New Zealand circle, taking the ball to air, but well picked there by New Zealand's defence.
Back, please. Let's take it back. That's good.
Free hit for New Zealand. Well into the last couple of minutes of this first quarter of play here. The space on the left-hand side if New Zealand can work it there, but red bodies and sticks in the way. They'll take the free hit instead. Just a couple of paces inside their own half of the field. Again, going for the width. New Zealand looking to finish this first quarter on the front foot here, trying to find a way around the back door, and we've got the first penalty corner of the game. Bright and breezy attack down the right-hand side for New Zealand. High fives all round from them. Because they know from the penalty corner, there's always a chance.
It was really well done by Hope Ralph. She just stayed, it did exactly what the played to the Chinese weakness of staying back and waiting for something to happen. She certainly made something happen.
And we've entered the umpire from South Africa, able to give the first penalty corner of the World Cup here in Amsterdam. Been a long time in coming. Can New Zealand take advantage of it? Fire to the top of the circle, shot comes in. Goalkeeper's gone down, and there's an element of pushing the ball underneath the keeper. Olivia Murray perhaps considering a video referral there, but perhaps talked out of it by her teammates. Now China on the break here, what a chance this is for them in open play! How did she miss? She did everything right, but the final shot there, just going wide.
Oh, that is unfortunate. A player at the far post would be absolutely pissed off that the ball didn't come her way. But end-to-end stuff, penalty corner from New Zealand, a really strong hit. It's clear that they want to play the rebound, not expecting it to just sink into the goalkeeper. But we've waited a whole quarter for literally end-to-end action.
Well, isn't that just the epitome of a Chinese attack there, just turning defence into attack? Penalty corner against them at one end, and then within seconds coming so close to taking the lead. And arguably, they should have taken more advantage of that opportunity. So we reach quarter time here in Amsterdam. New Zealand 0, China 0. Plenty of work for both coaches to do as they get their teams together for a very short break. Taka Takamar there in shot. Darren Smith staying at the back, communicating through his headset with his staff below. Fascinating game, Marcia.
Yeah, I think it's gone exactly as we expected. The first few minutes, both teams taking their time to settle, get rid of some of the nervous energy. I'm looking forward to the second quarter. I think that both teams will come out now firing. They've got a feel for their direct opponent.
Well, let's look back on the highlights. So both sides will look back on that first quarter and feel as though they've got themselves at least into the World Cup now. As you can see, possession there very evenly shared. Just the one penalty corner so far in New Zealand's column, and it nearly led to a goal, but at the other end of the field.
Yeah.
So New Zealand to restart us here. Next quarter takes us through, of course, to half-time, and a longer opportunity for the coaches and players to put their heads together to reassess their opponents on the day. There are a few surprises nowadays, though, in hockey, with video so readily available to the teams, and even New Zealand in their state of isolation will have both been watchers and watched by their opponents, particularly those who meet them in this World Cup pool, no doubt.
Nice piece of skill on the right-hand side.
Good strong run, wasn't it? She was attracting defenders across to her.
Yeah, we are. That's fine. Get it far, that's fine. That's 5.
.23-metre ball here for New Zealand. China sitting very deep now. Miri there towering over her marker.
She's just struggling to get on the end of those passes coming in. I think the Chinese defense know that she's a big threat in the circle, and are doing a good job at ensuring that it is difficult for her to cleanly receive the ball.
Apart from being a very talented sharp shooter, she's also a physical presence in her opponent's circle. She's strong, long reach. Doesn't make it easy for defenders to get near the ball when she's in town.
Yeah, it's good.
Lovely skills on the ball, really. And Shin Dao there, we're having a little bit of magic. More power and speed in the women's game, Marcia, than perhaps a decade or so ago, but there's still the artistry as well.
For sure, and definitely the ability to read the game, I think, has also improved. You see the midfielders understanding exactly how to cut through the lines with passes, and not always just running the ball.
Stick.
Trying to have a sideline ball, still deep in their own half of the field, in front of that main grandstand over there. main stand was refurbished recently, and it's kept all of the character of the old Wagner Stadium that was the venue for so many great tournaments over the years. It's kept all of that charm and coziness, but it really is an outstanding piece of architectural genius. Really offers great viewing facilities.
Yes, I'm trying the advantage.
Taking advantage literally there of the free hit. Trying to work some space for offloader shot on reverse stick side, and just blocked out of it there.
Yeah, nothing there, play.
Jarly there, very dangerous on the ball. New Zealand looking to take a free hit quickly, but I think the umpire wants to take him again from the right spot.
Just there, thank you.
It was sort of error after error from the defense to the attack, and then finally New Zealand defense getting it under control again.
New Zealand just weaving their way through some challenges. Megan Hull there. Long corner.
Far good. Yeah. 5 is fine.
Chinese girls missed it there, and a chance for New Zealand to break into the circle, but New Zealand giving the ball back rather cheaply there.
The last moment she's coming in a bit, so next time I'll be earlier.
Clear, because I really don't see from here.
Umpires communicating with each other here through their own microphones and headsets. They too have to bond themselves into a team during the course of a tournament, and a lot of preparation's gone in with the umpires on duty here and the umpire managers as well, and making sure that they were up for this challenge this morning.
Right, take the number. It's
great pressure from
20.
China.
20, we come back to green card for 20.
So I'm trying to force their way through there, but New Zealand have got numbers back, and rather hurried clearance, not the best.
Number 20, New Zealand. For the stick tackle just outside the 23.
And Megan Hull's picked up a card there. First card of the World Cup here in Amsterdam. Goes to one of the New Zealand captaincy group, Megan Hull. A 2-minute suspension. The idea was good there. Just couldn't deliver the right pass out to that right-hand side where there was space.
It's the second time I warned you. I'm sorry.
Well, we're going to play 10 aside.
Back here. Yeah, ball away.
China picking up a card as well.
26.
Chen Yang.
Okay. I was just going to ask.
So a little more space for both teams on the field.
A little bit more legwork for everybody on the field.
I think that's a very good way of looking at it as well. And on a hot day, those sort of things in a long tournament, those sort of things can take the toll, and coaches will be keen not to pick up too many unnecessary cards. Not sure that all cards are completely necessary. Sometimes you take one for the team. Sometimes you just get a little bit too headstrong.
it's really interesting to see the way China are playing. Traditionally, you know, when you assess the Chinese team, you would always, the one thing that you would always notice that they have set pattern plays. And one thing that's striking for me is that they seem to be more varied in their style of play.
You put that down to the Anand influence?
I think it definitely has an influence in the way that they've been playing. You see the players probably daring to make more dangerous and risky passes, whereas traditionally they would always go for the solid pass, and actually it would bring them success as well.
Play on.
Ball taken down in the circle, chance here, and fired into the back of the nets, and we've got our first goal here. New Zealand ahead. China just switching off for a moment there. And when the chance came, they took full advantage of it. And the Kiwi supporters loved that moment. Let's watch it again here.
Yeah, she did really well to bring the ball down and stay composed and just get it in, get the shot in hard. And it was a really solid backhand shot on goal.
Can you give me a count?
Oh, the keeper will be really disappointed with that. It seems like her foot got stuck, but straight through the legs. Oh, that's going to hurt. But really well done by the New Zealand attack, keeping the pressure high, staying composed on the ball and making sure that the shot on goal is solid and hard.
Well, the old story is if you put something on target, the goalkeeper's got to do something with it. And there it was in a nutshell. And that will hurt China. That really will hurt them.
And it seems like the goal has given New Zealand the extra energy that they needed. They've started this restart as well, firing and have possession of the ball straight away as well.
Important moments this for China. They need to dig in here. They don't want to concede a second. Well, they're still reeling from conceding the first.
No. Nice and rich.
There's that shot again, coming off the keeper's pads.
It was really well timed and well composed. She had the opportunity to hit it on her forehand, but thought, no, I'll take it a bit further.
You need to hold the 5 first.
Real striker's goal that from Rose Tynan of Auckland. Just her second goal for New Zealand in this her fourth appearance in the All Black colours.
You can put it on the line, yeah? On the line. That's good.
Well, will that goal change the way these two teams approach things here?
Play! Stick! That's fine, stick.
New Zealand going again. They're going to take this one upstairs for a video referral, I think, as well.
Foot. Okay.
A really nice quick attack on that free hit, catching the Chinese defense
I will have
on
a
the
look
back
for you.
foot.
Can you also just look for a stick first, but look for the foot.
So New Zealand are claiming a foot here in the circle, which will of course be a penalty corner. Well, we're watching some of the angles that the video umpire will be looking at as well.
It seems to be stick from this angle, but
yes,
we're not sure.
Video umpire has
can I see the first one that we started with?
their own cabin high up in the main grandstand. Be looking at the various angles on this one, trying to help out her on-field colleague.
Decision ready.
Decision's on the way, I think.
Vanry. There is no clear reason to change your decision. Free hit out, and New Zealand lose their referral.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell. No clear reason for Van Venter to change her decision. So it will be a hit out.
You've lost your referral.
Something which may be of greater consequence. New Zealand lose their right to further referral. That's a big call so early in the game, Marcia.
Yeah, I think if you're 1-0 up and it's still so early in the game, there's no need for such a hasty video referral without absolute certainty. Let's hope that impatient decision of the New Zealand attacker doesn't come back to bite them in the end.
Play! Play! Outside.
Normally sides a little more circumspect. They look at each other. Make sure, are you absolutely sure before they're taking it to video? But New Zealand still in possession of the ball, still with their tails up from that Rose Tynan goal. A little bit untidy on that far side, but New Zealand still in possession. Trying to play at a high tempo. China again just looking a little uncertain outside their circle. Not enough pace on that pass, easily picked off again by New Zealand. Who definitely have got a spring in their steps. That's a clumsy challenge there outside the circle on Mary, and it will be another penalty corner here as China find themselves just reeling a little bit on the ropes here.
She seems to have given it for not being 5, but it was also equally a harsh tackle on somebody who's really strong on the ball that we spoke about earlier, Olivia Mary. We've got her at the top of the D.
Come on, gotta go. You got 10.
2 castles.
Let's go.
Chinese girls hurrying to get the protective equipment on.
1.
Just about getting back in time. Injections in the slot, but it's saved and goes wide in the end.
I was happy, yeah. Okay, cool.
Stephanie Dickens going in with the drag, and actually a really good save from the keeper and the line stop having that under control.
An absolutely crucial moment that could have been. To concede a second goal at this stage, having just gone behind, would further damage Chinese hopes here. Yes, the line, she's done very well there because the goalkeeper's driven across her line of vision, and she's kept her eye firmly on the ball. Little leg glance wide of the post. Alison Allen, thorough as ever, making some notes up there, and their opposite number doing the same. For the two coaches, Darren will be pleased, more pleased than Alison, I think, the way this second quarter has gone so far.
Yes, certainly. We've seen a lot of the game still taking place between the two 25s in the middle part of the field, but New Zealand being more effective in what they do in their moments of attack in that final 23, having the goal and the penalty corner, while China have just been struggling to get into the circle. But here they go.
Trying to have a chance to get something here.
There's nothing there.
Under 90 seconds left in this first half. China putting some pressure on the New Zealand circle for the first time in some little while. New Zealand really have raised their game in this second quarter, and they've taken the game to China. Now is that time for a Chinese equaliser before the break. 40 seconds in possession, wide on the left-hand side. Can they find the pass? Drilled in towards the far post, but no one able to get on the end of that one.
See Johnny diving in for it, but just actually quite short of that.
Thank you.
It was a good idea,
Yeah,
just not the
let me be
connection
very
with each
clear
other.
here. It's the second time we're warning you. Big 5.
Good warning for all teams there. Umpires very tight on this 5 metres from opponents' free hits. Better to make it 5.5 than 4.5 and concede a penalty corner and pick up a card. And so we reach half-time here in this first game in Amsterdam of the FIH Hockey Women's World Cup.
It's very simple.
And we've got a game on our hands here, of that there can be no question. Rose Tynan's goal has given New Zealand a very narrow advantage at half-time, but it's still very much all to play for in the second half here. New Zealand 1, China 0. So both sides disappearing underneath the grandstand for a short break. And we're going to do very much the same, but we'll be back shortly. Welcome back then to Amsterdam, where the crowd have been mulling over that first half of action in this first game here in Amsterdam in the FIH Hockey Women's World Cup. A half that's seen New Zealand take a narrow advantage over China. Highlights. So China and New Zealand coming out under bright blue skies here. The two coaches still working hard. China in the all-red strip. A pacey attack. Playing a lovely ball into the circle. Brilliant bit of goalkeeping there, reading the situation well and making up for the fact there was no deep central defender in place to deny China the opening goal. Penalty corner for New Zealand, always a threat. Mary this time drilling the ball into the prone goalkeeper, and New Zealand penalised for playing the ball underneath it. Mary with the protest. China with the ball and attacking, and what a chance this was, and firing wide when well placed there. Really good opportunity that for China, and they might have done a little more with it. Tian Liu there should have hit the target. And then the moment of impact in the game so far. Chinese girls just stopping when the ball went high in the air. Tynan keeping her eye on the ball, and with an eye for the opportunity, taking the shot on and firing it in off the keeper's left leg for the opening goal. Still time in the half for another New Zealand corner. And this time it was the post girl there who got the deflection, the shot beating the keeper's driving left foot. So half-time scoreline here. It's New Zealand 1, China 0, Rose Tynan's goal. Well, the stats looking pretty even there. Just the penalty corners perhaps showing that New Zealand have had more of the play in their opponents, 23. I wonder what the coaches are thinking.
Darren, great goal just before half-time. Are you satisfied with the way you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really competitive first half, and both teams came at it and had opportunities, and the second half's going to be exactly the same. I mean, we expect them to come and press and go hard at us. For us, we've got to be clinical and put away our chances when they come along.
Where do you think you're beating the Chinese right now?
Oh, look, I mean, I think it's a pretty even game. I mean, we've taken an opportunity, they've had some as well, so second half will be the same.
Thank you very much. Addison, you conceded just before half-time. What do you need in the second half to turn this around?
We need to put our heads up and play with a little bit more confidence. So the first quarter we were very good. We had some chances. We should have rewarded ourselves with that. We got a goal against the game of the play. And then we put our head down. So it's all about confidence. It's about putting higher pressure and playing really, just with a little bit more confidence, believing in ourselves.
No penalty corners yet. Is that an issue?
Yes. We've asked for corners. We probably should have got one, but, you know, we'll wait for it and we're going to work hard in the second half to get them.
Good luck.
Well, two very grounded coaches there. I think you'll agree, Marsha.
Yeah, certainly. I think Alison also made it quite clear what she's asked this team to execute. So it'll be interesting to see if they manage to pull it off. Their high pressure worked well for them. So looking forward to seeing them do the same in the second or the third quarter, second half.
Well, no doubt those thoughts have been transposed to the players during the half-time dressing room chats. Let's see if they can put the coach's words now into action. And China trying to get straight into that New Zealand circle, but New Zealand well organised in defence. Another one of the hallmarks of their game.
Play! Line! Thanks.
Ball deflected into that New Zealand circle, but once again New Zealand able to pick up the loose ball. Almost a rueful smile on Alison Anand's face when asked about the need to produce some penalty corner opportunities of their own. She knows the threat that they have at the penalty corner better than, well, anyone, I would reckon. But you've got to win them first of all. Were you surprised that Alison accepted this huge challenge of taking on the project that is China hockey?
I wouldn't say that I was surprised. I think that we've seen the Chinese Hockey Association always look at experienced coaches from all over the world to come in, either be a head coach or part of their coaching staff. So I wouldn't say that I was surprised that they asked or requested her to take on this role. She definitely deserves a seat at this international stage as a coach, and in that regard I'm not surprised that she then took it on.
Well, she's never been one to shirk a challenge, that's for sure, and the Chinese project is a huge task, and China have heeded her words here, because they're going to start the second half with a corner of their own here. Speedy attack, getting behind the New Zealand defence and just coming off that right shin pad there.
25.
Little piece of skill.
That's 20, ladies.
The stick and into the shin pad.
Shosha Zhang there
15.
just
Gotta get going. Yep.
taking the ball to air, a little bit of
10.
3D
10 seconds. Come.
magic.
In we go. 5. Step in, please.
Deep breathing exercises at the top of the circle.
Yeah, cool.
This is the time you need all of the composure. Umpires consulting and going for the penalty corner.
That's fine. Vanry, one person. Yeah. Vanry, what's a foot? Yeah.
The umpires are consulting. There won't be any need for this to be sent upstairs.
No. Yeah. She's saying she saw a foot. She saw a foot. She's happy. Yeah.
Lorraine Delfour is looking down the field, helping her colleague.
Come. No.
Much tidier if the umpires consulted out on the field, isn't it?
Come, girls. Thanks, Lorraine.
Can't see everything, that's for sure. But two sets of eyes, very definitely better than one.
There's no time. In we go. Don't go there about 40 seconds. We can just go.
So a second corner in quick succession here for China.
Yeah, in we go. Let's go.
Bing Fang Gu waits her opportunity again. Oh, it's gone through the New Zealand keeper and defence, and China are back on terms here.
Just wait. Can I explain? I can't use it.
Alison's interpreter down there shouting out the instructions. We watch this one again. Oh, it's unlucky. It's come off the keeper's glove and onto the defender's foot, I think.
I can't
onto Olivia Mary's foot indeed.
Yeah, she's the one that
Also a really good penalty corner from the Chinese attack.
Well, I said there was some rueful smiling about Alison and when asked about the penalty corners. And, well, all the work on the training ground paying off there, and there's the goal scorer.
I suppose there's nothing more rewarding for a coach than asking the team to get a penalty corner, and they do it within the first few minutes of the restart of the game.
Yang Ying, the lady of the moment there. No, perfect execution of a coach's burning desire. So we're all square again.
5 is good. And then the shin tap.
And now it's China very much on the front foot, and the keeper's down, and it's all a bit of a scramble, and there'll be another penalty corner. Well, we saw China rocking after they conceded. We're now seeing exactly the same with New Zealand.
China have been really effective with their baseline attacks on the left-hand side.
That's 20 goals. We were a bit slow last time. We need to hurry. 15? Yeah, sorry, 17. 15 now. That's 15. 15. Now we're on 10. 10. We need to go. Let's go. Go, go, go.
Watching on again.
5. In we go. In we go.
She's energised by that goal, just as her team are here. Taken on by Beng Fu Gu. Fairly easily dealt with there. Still looking a bit shaky in that New Zealand defence. It's come off the back of the stick there, and so New Zealand will have a chance just to catch their breath a little bit and calm things down.
Take it there. It's here.
Yeah, it was an easy save. A nice flick at the goalkeeper, but it won't give you any success. It won't bring you any success. Straight at the keeper's glove.
Sorry, they just took it way off. Yeah,
just nicely deflected away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Scored. Play.
So New Zealand just taking a little bit of time to settle their nerves down a little bit. They'll have been pumped to get into half-time with the lead, but they know this game too well to think the game was done and dusted at that point. They knew it was going to be a tough second half that lay ahead of them. Well, it's just got a little bit tougher now with China very much in the ascendancy. And back on terms, but it's New Zealand now in possession. It's a real ding-dong affair, this one. Two hard-working sides. Desperate to start their World Cup with a win.
Long corner.
The Chinese defender's got to be careful there the way she swung at that ball. It was only going in one direction, wasn't it?
That's fine. It's on the edge.
Ambitious pass, but Bing Feng was on line for China.
Make sure you 5.
She'll stop those all day.
That's for you, Henry. Yeah, it's fine.
Not enough length on the aerial clearance. New Zealand back in possession. Nice bit of stick handling there from the goal scorer for New Zealand, Rose Tynan. I think New Zealand have got their game heads firmly back on again now after that moment of mild panic, having conceded, and all of a sudden China were in their faces again and looking for a second as they attempt to turn it around. Tana just backing off, making sure she's the full 5.
Bit of a physical challenge there.
There was the umpire reaching into her pocket again.
Please. Was it 6? Number 3, I think. The forward's here, yeah. Need double check, but I think it was.
So New Zealand picking up another card. Alex Lukin this time with a green card.
Yes. No, it was green.
The umpires have had this game pretty much in their own pockets. In the game, no need for them to escalate through the cards at the moment. Happy with the green cards, but
Danger.
that was, I think, more of a accidental collision than anything overtly physical.
Yours. Fine.
Both teams making good use of the aerial ball.
Well, that's another facet of the women's game that's improved so much. There's a lot more successful use of the aerial as the skill has been developed.
Touch your leg, no? Touch your leg.
Yeah, I think in the past you saw female players only daring to make the high pass if they had a big aerial pass on them. But now you're seeing a lot of variation from short little over one player and then the traditional longer pass as well. It is quite effective if you do pull it off.
Well, both sides giving absolutely everything here. Neither coach can ask for any more in the degree of effort being put in by their respective charges. Both would like a little bit more of the quality, but it's not far away. I feel that both sides are just on the edge of really getting a grip in the game. Trying to working the ball out to that left-hand side.
Oh, sorry.
When they run with the ball, it's just such, well, it's almost poetry in motion, isn't it? Just lovely flowing movements. Just broke down there with the final pass going astray, but nothing wrong with the understanding of the running off the ball and the willingness to link up and play this attractive brand of hockey that Alison Annan has always been a fan of. Interesting dynamic within the Chinese coaching team, of course, with Rick Charlesworth, now Alison's assistant. When I first got to know those two, Rick was very definitely Alison's mentor as a demanding coach of Australia to great success. Now the partnership's got a slightly different dynamic to it. No great surprise that when the call came in from Annan that Rick answered it with a very positive response. Another one who likes a challenge in life.
Yeah, indeed he does. But I think it is also quite nice to see that you go from being coached to then having somebody as your mentor, and then working together.
Do you know what I really think about it? I just think there's so much trust between the two of them. There are things that just don't need to be said. I think that's part of it. But they've also expanded the group. I mean, Taka Takama there may well have been pumping his fists with delight when that Chinese corner went in.
She just slipped on the stick. Okay, all good.
Thank you. Knows just a little bit about penalty corners.
You slipped on her stick. Out, yep.
So into the last 4 minutes now of this third quarter. New Zealand shaded the second quarter of play. I think it's fair to say that so far it's been advantage China in this third one.
She's first there.
Two very well matched teams.
Play.
Hull on the ball. Megan Hull just sliding a pass to a teammate. Taryn Davies penalised there.
Yeah, it's good.
China looking bright again. Well, nice skills on the ball by China have earned themselves another penalty corner opportunity. Defender unable to keep the ball away
That's
from the
20
right
ladies.
leg there. Megan Hull concedes a penalty corner
15.
for China. Just on 3 minutes left in the quarter.
Right, let's step in.
Can China complete the turnaround by taking the lead here? It's hard, it's low, and it's perfectly placed again. And they have turned it around.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, no, I take for that.
Yeah, big for Blue finally getting it off. She needed that first one as a warm-up, and her second one
No, I take for that one.
is the keeper.
That's why it's good to have it.
Let's watch it again, this time from behind the goal.
She's gone to that same left leg of the goalkeeper at a height that makes it a little bit more difficult and challenging to save. This time off the stick of Olivia Mary.
Oh yes, it's bounced up, hasn't it, over the keeper's driving foot again. No chance there for the keeper, no chance whatsoever. Oh, that's a poor kick out, and the shot comes in. The keeper was lucky to be able to make amends there. New Zealand trying to get back on terms if they can before the next break in play. It'll be a very different camp that meets this time with their lead gone and now finding themselves having to chase the game themselves going into the final quarter.
Not closer.
So a broad smile on the face of Alison Anand, as we saw a moment ago. And I've no doubt a broad smile on the face of Taka Takamara as well, because it has been the penalty corners that have done the damage and have turned it around in China's favour. New Zealand trying to get onto their game again, but although we saw the ball carrier there looking up to try and pick the pass, couldn't deliver the ball into the areas that she wanted to do so. New Zealand taking the aerial route.
Give me 5 seconds, please.
The defender was there first, and New Zealand coming in, making it dangerous. Their drop penalised. New Zealand protesting that they felt a free hit should have gone in their direction there, but it is China on the ball again, but not for long this time.
Got 1 minute to go.
It's the last 50 seconds. Still time. Anyone who's ever played or even watched hockey knows an awful lot can happen in 50 seconds.
Especially when both teams you see a definite attempt to speed up the game.
Absolutely.
That's it. 5's good.
Well, giving all the signs that she could keep the ball for 50 seconds there. That was Chen Yang going through her party tricks, just running the clock down, making sure that the next time they meet with Alison Anand, They will be in the lead rather than behind, and well, mission accomplished as far as China are concerned in that third quarter. Rose Tainen's first half goal cancelled out by a pair of goals, both from penalty corners, from Ying Zhang and Bingfeng Gu for China. So it's advantage China, just 15 minutes left. Once again, the excellence of our camera team, taking us up close and personal and showing us the raw emotion amongst the players and indeed the coaching staff here. China now just starting to put some clear water between themselves and New Zealand in terms of possession. And they've certainly made full advantage of the penalty corners that they've been able to earn here. So some food for thought for New Zealand, who've got 15 minutes to salvage something from this one. They want to take at least a point from it if they can. Marcia, how would you expect China to set up for this this last quarter here?
Well, I think that they've seen that the penalty corner brings them success and their high press. So I think that they're going to want to finish on the using and playing to their strengths.
And that means not trying just to defend the lead?
Yeah, I think that they're going to want to put New Zealand on the back foot.
Use your foot there? No, I didn't see.
Well, attack is the best form of defence, isn't it? And well, let's see what happens, because New Zealand will have something to say about it as well, of course, and they've got nothing to lose here. They need to produce something. They've shown in their play throughout the game that they have the ability, they have the pace, and Olivia Murray, of course, they've got a finisher. They just haven't been able to give her any real service in the game so far. For which the Chinese organisation needs to take some credit, of course. China with their first attack of this final quarter. Took an early deflection off the defenders. It'll be a long corner to restart us here. Out on the 23.
That's good. Play.
China doglegging the ball into the circle, but eventually it's come off a Chinese foot. So New Zealand will need to introduce a little bit of urgency. They can't let this game, this final quarter, go flat on them here.
Play, she's alone.
Good early ball. New Zealand playing it forward.
Well read by the defender. But you definitely see New Zealand have more. I'd like to see.
There'll be some nerves in both camps. Nervy times, particularly for Zealand, knowing if they concede a third, their task will become a monumental one. They're trying to and work a way into that New Zealand circle, but they had numbers back. New Zealand looking towards that right, and so that's a lovely pass. We could spot it from up in our commentary position, but to spot it down on the pitch at ground level took some doing. Oh, and it's forced into goal, and New Zealand are level. Well, it all started from that beautiful midfield pass, and we've talked about the danger of Mary in the circle. And there it was for all to see.
Just a little bit more patience in their attack and using the flanks that just brings them such success. The baseline attack again, staying nice and patient and waiting for Olivia Mary, giving her a chance to come in front of her defender to play that deflection into the goal.
Well, that's smart.
Well executed.
Smart attacking there from Mary. Ralph getting ahead up, spotting Mary's movement in front of the defender. And Mary needed no second invitation. That's mine, I'll take it. Take it she did. Well, it's a humdinger of a game to start our World Cup here in Amsterdam, Marsha, I must say.
Yeah, and there's still 11 minutes of excitement to go, so let's see what this game still has in store for us.
New Zealand were able to create an overload on that right-hand side. That was a really smart move by them. They had two players on that line from that midfield pass that split the Chinese defence. I'm sure Alison will be looking at the video of that and saying, well, yeah, maybe my left defender was a little high on that occasion. But you can never, much as you can demand it, you can never guarantee the perfect performance.
No, it was also the right half coming really high in the attack, which always is a danger for the opposition. Causes a little bit of confusion, as a striker sometimes hesitates with defending so deep in their own half.
And now New Zealand looking full of confidence themselves. Well, it's a game that's ebbed and flowed, but it's never lost our attention here. There go China again. They work their way into the circle.
You. No.
Oh, this time China are going to take this one to a referral, I think.
Just the first one, the push.
They're looking for a push here.
Yes, from China. China's asking for a push from New Zealand.
No problem, I'll take a look.
So China asking for a push coming from a New Zealand defender here.
Can I see that just from one more angle?
Maggie Giddens,
yeah, this is great.
From the USA, is the video umpire.
I think I'm decision ready.
How do you read that one, Marsha? Well, let's not bother. Let's wait for the video umpire to tell us.
I have a decision for you. There was a push, award a penalty corner, and China keep their referral.
Well, it's going to be a penalty corner. New Zealand looking a little nonplussed by that. China thinking, well, it's all in a day's work.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. She did Dickinson well to run back as hard as she can, but that's always the risk, that you come in a bit too physical in your defensive challenge. It's kind of hard to stop your momentum when you're running that tackle back at speed. But it is a corner indeed.
So big call there from the video umpire, and a big call in the context of this game as well, as China have another opportunity here from a penalty corner. And that's
it's off and didn't stick. Just wait. Let me just wait, there is an injury. Wait.
Again, we've got a video referral being prepared, but I think the umpires are going to sort this one out between them. But most importantly, we've got an injured player down there on the field. They're immediately calling for some medical backup there.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Seems to have connected with her jaw.
First injury. Yes.
Chen Yang is the
I didn't see the stick.
unfortunate player down there.
We are, yeah. Okay. Good.
Yes, she's holding a jaw, she's going off.
So
Well, let's just hope this is
of your stick up.
not too serious. Look away now if you're squeamish.
Okay. She said it's off your stick up. Okay. I can't use my referral. She's already said. Okay, corner. In we get.
It will be a corner because, as we clearly saw there on replay, the ball came up off the front runner's, the first runner's stick. Well, I just hope this isn't
she's looked
a
and she's
fractured
happy.
jaw.
In we get.
I'm afraid it's very much in that territory, isn't it? no chance for the stricken player to react to that one.
Who's pushing?
Alison they're grimacing.
I don't hear.
Yeah, the New Zealand defense are not happy with this call.
No, but you wouldn't be, would you?
No, they seem to be convinced that it was danger from the initial attempt at goal.
And this time New Zealand, well, China again are in the face of the umpire. They just send one player across there rather than a posse. But again, it's going to be Maggie Giddens in the box to call it.
China's asking for a New Zealand foot in the circle.
I will take a look for
Once
a foot
again,
in the
they're
circle.
looking for a foot in the circle. Don't think this is going to take very long, although a slightly obscure view there.
Maybe that second one as well.
Once again, every camera angle being employed here.
So it goes off the first runner, and I want to also see the second where it deflects, and then it might hit the second defender as well. So I want to be able to see both of those.
Yeah, I think there's at least one penalty corner there, possibly two.
defender.
But it's well above my pay scale, Marcia, to get involved with these. We've got the best umpires in the world, and that includes some of the best video umpire exponents as well.
I'm going with you on that second foot. On the first one, it's very difficult to see if it's the inside of his stick
Is there any
or
way
if
for it to
it's
be less
if it's a
blurry?
leg. But for sure, I think.
Yeah, let me see this one.
Well, we've got cameras pretty much everywhere here, but even then sometimes
Yeah,
we
right
get the
there.
call
Okay,
back
decision
that
ready.
no advice is possible. The decision's coming.
Bonry?
Yes.
There is a foot in the circle, a penalty corner, and China keep their referral.
So once again, China nailing their referral very well indeed. They were absolutely right with their call. Took a little time to provide the right evidence, but in the end, evidence there was, and it will be a penalty corner. Well, that's a great save. That's a great save in the end. That was absolutely crucial. And that was so close to China going ahead again. No doubt we'll get a chance to watch that one back in replay in a moment. China looking to get their noses back ahead here in this very tense game now. We're into the last 10 minutes of it.
That's good.
A game that's ebbed and flowed in terms of first one team gaining the advantage, then the other. Still anyone's there, anyone's game to win. Ball bouncing through the top of the circle there.
First was fine, and then no, to the body.
And here's that last save again.
They've gone for that same corner, but New Zealand have done well to cover it this time.
Alison Anand's reaction there suggesting that perhaps wouldn't have been her choice of corner routine. Or maybe I'm reading too much into it. Neither side settling for a draw here, though. New Zealand taking it on.
Play.
Trying to work the way behind that Chinese defence. And just running out of pitch.
No, you are the one to touch it, very clear. It's a fair contest. You are both going for the ball.
Very thoughtful Darren Smith there. And there's the injured, just rather tentatively holding that cheekbone. The fact she's able to talk, perhaps a good sign.
Yeah, I thought exactly the same thing. She's able to move it, so hopefully she's still in this tournament till the end.
Well, I do hope so. Oh, missed kick. Oh, that was a half chance, maybe a little bit more. And Liang firing wide there.
China on the quick counter attack, taking advantage of some of the errors from New Zealand.
Well, Hanlon there didn't get the connection on the ball that she was looking for.
No, she'll be very disappointed because those are one of the basics that strikers will always train, either on target or at the far post.
Play! It's too far. Well done. Yes. Yeah, be good. Be good.
I was talking with Yannicka Shopman, who is the over here as the coach of the Indian team, who we'll see later on today in action. Reminiscing it with her about her World Cup in Perth all those years ago when she suffered a broken jaw, and she looked a forlorn figure as she left the ground in tears, with her parents very much to the fore, making sure their daughter was okay. But somehow she found the strength and courage to come back and play in the final in that one. So tough cookies, these hockey players.
Indeed they are. So a very similar story with Kate Richardson
yeah,
at the Olympic Games. So.
Play!
Looks like she might be returning to the fray quicker than anyone could have anticipated. What a good story. Like a story with a happy ending.
Bring it back, bring it back!
Now, will there be a happy ending here, I wonder, for New Zealand or China? 2-all, 5 minutes left in this opening game, which is a curtain raiser for our event here in Amsterdam. I have to say, has been absolutely excellent. Terrific stuff. Two very committed sides, two very skillful sides. Well handled by the umpires as well, who've set their stall out early in the tournament, as they must, setting the tone for what comes later. Good, strong, consistent umpiring in game one at the venue. Save problems later on. China still driving forward, and another penalty corner here.
Get ready. Both of us are happy.
New Zealand just towering a little here as China continue to get themselves on the front foot.
Yes, no, it's all good. We've got 15, ladies, 15.
There she is, still that ringing in the ears.
10, come, we need to go.
The medics will have had a good look at her. They wouldn't have sent her out unless she's fit to play. Of that I have absolute confidence. Whipped out again. Long drag in, and Hanlon's save almost arriving again, presenting China with an opportunity. And this time New Zealand can scramble it clear.
You went, a high ball.
Well, they're going to go again.
Okay.
Well, why wouldn't you? They've been successful with all of their appeals so far. Again, we've got an injured player.
Are you okay? Do you need medic? Can I get medic? Please. Come.
She seems to be in a lot of pain.
Step out of it. Yes.
She does.
Just ask
this might tell us why.
Yeah, I'm going to check. I'm going to ask her to review the whole play. Yeah, I'm going to ask her to review the whole play. Yes. Absolutely. Maggie?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Maggie, can you, China have asked for a foot or a high ball in the circle, but can you review the whole play? Because I think there's an obstruction before that.
Sure, I'll take a look at the whole thing.
Thank you.
So, Maggie Giddens having to look at the whole box set of this one.
It was a bit of a messy corner. Well saved, the first save. Seems to be that obstruction, perhaps.
Yeah, that was like a third-party obstruction, or a shadow obstruction, wasn't it, in there, possibly?
And the bounce catching everybody a little bit.
I'll watch that same series one more time, and then I should have decision ready.
And I think this is what
yes.
Van Rie
because
was
the
saying.
earlier situation is...
She saw the initial obstruction, which is blown for, and there may have then been subsequent feet that become irrelevant, of course.
If the physio doesn't come, that's, yeah, we don't make those rules, unfortunately.
Alison Moran down on the edge of the pitch here.
Yeah, decision's ready.
Seems that Bing Fung Gu.
Van Rie, there was a obstruction in the circle, so it'll be a free hit out, and China lose their referral.
Okay. There was an obstruction, it's going to be free hit out.
So very much as we saw it.
So it's a free hit out, and you lose a referral. Okay.
So there was indeed an obstruction before the.
Just wait for the whistle, please, for time.
The defensive interventions.
Just wait for whistle, wait.
So China have now lost their right to further referrals. More importantly, they've lost one of their real talismans, and Bing Feng Gu there being helped into a seat on the bench, and they'll go to work pretty quickly on her, because she is an absolute cornerstone of this Chinese team, both in defence and penalty corner attacks. And that's found a Chinese foot this time. Good hurrying play there by New Zealand has brought its own reward.
The Chinese thought that they were out of the danger, but then seemed to have lost the ball, and New Zealand did really well to recover and find the foot.
Daw, they're getting the ball strong, keeping her opponents away.
10 seconds. New Zealand, be ready.
So now it's a New Zealand penalty.
They were rushed into taking this penalty corner and then the missed trap. Often you see teams recover from a missed trap, but not in this case for the New Zealand girls.
Let's make it simple. Yeah.
New Zealand recycling it again. 3 minutes left.
That's for you? Yeah, to play. New Zealand ball. Yeah.
Once again, you may have picked up the umpire. Just have a little word about that pass. Question mark whether it was high and dangerous or whether it was okay.
Happy? Go play. Good.
Laureen Delforge quickly in with the whistle there. Well, there's still so much riding on this game, Marsha. It's time I've got to ask you for your thoughts on a player of the match. Don't give me straight away, but maybe over the next minute I'll pin you down, if I may. Nicely picked up here. Oh, and it's well over the top there. Mary buying a raffle ticket, but not a winner this time.
She does well to get the shot off. I think this is probably the first time that we've actually seen her having the ability and the space to take a clean shot at the goal. Just unfortunate to have it go over the goal and not on target.
So, no pressure. Player of the match.
I think this has been a really even game, Mum.
Why do you think I asked you to give me the player of the match rather than picking it myself?
No, I think I've been really impressed by the midfield play from both these teams. We've seen them stay composed and then also at times bring on the speed and break through the lines. Also some really dangerous passes, but a player who has made a difference for me in this New Zealand team in particular is Hope Ralph. I think that her ability to have not only forced penalty corners for New Zealand, but also in her assist in that second goal, her run on the right baseline.
So Hope Rolfe of New Zealand, a very talented number 6, gets our first Rubber Bank Player of the Match award, courtesy of the decision, the great Marsha Cox. Oh, here's Mary. She might want to rewrite your script on that one. They're weaving her way through, but denied this time by sheer weight of numbers and grit from the Chinese defence. Both sides have shown plenty of grit in this game. They really have dug deep, and they've produced, well, not a win for either camp, but they've set the ball rolling here at Amsterdam with a high-quality game that's finished all square. And I think, as neutrals that we are, we can't really disagree with the fairness of that scoreline. It's finished here. New Zealand 2, China 2. A pulsating game which swung first one way, then the other, both sides giving absolutely everything and leaving nothing down there on the pitch. Which coach do you think will be the happy with that result, Marsha?
To be honest, I think looking at and listening to what they both said at the start of this game, I think that they would be pleased to both walk away with a point, given the fact that New Zealand have had a little bit of a shaky build-up, not having the exposure that some of the other teams have had, in particular China, who have had the Pro League that they've been able to play, and China with a new coach, new system, new style. I think that they both would be very pleased with the point each.
Well, it's always good to get your World Cup campaigns underway, and both China and New Zealand have done that here, and they've done it in fine style, it has to be said. Taka Takamar there, just shaking hands alongside Alison and Anne. So two teams will be feeling the exhaustion of that one, and both sides have picked up the odd knock that are need to go away and affect some repairs. Time for us to look back on the highlights. So New Zealand playing in their traditional All Black on the attack here. Ball high in the air and converted skillfully there by Rose Tynan. China always a threat at the penalty corners though, and Zhang Ying tying things up at 1-1. Off the keeper's hand, onto the defender's foot. Another corner for China, another chance. Another deflection, another goal. Bing Feng Gu, the goal scorer this time, slinging low into the back of the net. Just deflecting off the stick of Olivia Mary. Pass of the game for New Zealand here. Beautiful work along the baseline. Head up, picking the pass, and Mary getting there in front of a marker, showing why she's a world-class finisher. So confirmation of the score: New Zealand 2, China 2. And there's the story of the game in statistical form for you. New Zealand with the 3 penalty corners, China with 8, and they'll look at that stat and think, well, maybe we should have sewn it up, taken all 3 points rather than just the 1. Shots on target, 5 for New Zealand, 7 for China. But we would reckon from our commentary position up here, a pretty even game when all's said and done. Two quality sides. They've still got plenty of action to go in this World Cup. So a good one for the crowd to get them in the mood. Much travelled Kiwi band there, enjoying some refreshment. And the Orange Army, of course, out in force, and there'll be even greater numbers later on today when the Dutch are in action. Now, I'm delighted to say, down at pitch side, we've got our Rubber Bank Player of the Match, Hope Rolfe. Hope that was some game to get your World Cup campaign underway.
Yeah, it was a good first game. Gutted that we couldn't quite get the win at the end, but yeah, good to kick off the start of the World Cup.
Both sides certainly had their moments, and penalty corners proved to be your undoing, but you showed great resilience to come back, and the old battle there, Olivia Mary getting in front of a mark to finally equalise, giving your side the crucial draw. How important is she still to the team?
Oh, so important. She has so much experience and knowledge that she helps and shares with us all, so just a huge part and a great leader for us.
Well, you only had one game under your belt, but what are your thoughts of being here in Amsterdam and playing in this World Cup?
It's pretty amazing. I'm very grateful to be here, and it's pretty cool to have so many fans come out and watch.
Hope it's we should be grateful for you for bringing your skills. A great performance today. We thought up in the comedy box 2-all was a fair result, but no doubt you will have your view and China will no doubt have theirs. But well done. Good luck for the rest of the campaign.
Thanks so much.
Chucha, you must be delighted to get your campaign underway after all of these weeks on the road travelling.
I think this first game is not easy for us, and then I play very good first quarter, but after New Zealand goal and we are a little down, but second half we play very well.
We saw one of your key players, Bing Feng, going off with an injury.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
I think I will tell her it's a quick recovery, and then we need her, and then we are team together. It's okay.
When you obviously came out for the second half with real fire and got from 1-0 down to 2-1 ahead.
Well, second half we put pressure for New Zealand, so we got more chance, and then we get it.
And just a quick one, you must be just relieved to get the World Cup campaign started here in the Netherlands.
It's nice. I really enjoyed it in a fantastic stadium.
Well, thanks very much for joining us. Well done today. It's a point.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I think both sides will look back on that and look back on a hard-earned point, but a crucial point nonetheless. England and India will have been watching that game with great interest, I've no doubt. And they will meet, of course, very soon. Well, our next game here involves Germany taking on Chile. Crowd mulling around, enjoying all the facilities. There's confirmation of that next game, Germany against Chile. That gets underway at 4:30 Central European time, and then we've got Netherlands against Ireland, our late game here. The Pool C and D games, of course, are in Barcelona. But I hope very much you'll be able to follow our coverage either live at one of our two stadia, or of course on all the usual channels for your hockey. Well, it's been a great start, and it won't be too long before we're back in action with Germany against Chile in Pool A. I hope you can join us then.